Hello, YouTube. I know for a second it probably looked like the floor was all done, but it's not. This is just temporarily laid out to see how things will work. You can see the heating vent is here. I am... Actually, you know what? I'll screw that in place through the vent, and that should hold this piece in place right here. Basically, you're supposed to use these, I don't know what they're called, but they run along the edge here, molding, and that'll kind of let things slide. But see how it slides too much? I need to kind of keep it in place, so I'm debating how to hold everything. I might end up using glue, using the liquid nails to glue it in place. But I don't want to glue everything. And that liquid nail doesn't dry fast enough. So I'm thinking of actually drilling a hole and right here. And not drilling a hole, but using a screw and making a hole there to hold that piece in place. I'm not going to use a screw here, though, because that would be visible. But the idea is to keep this piece from sliding and then move everything else and then also screw the other one in place. The problem you're going to have, though, is with expansion because, you know, wood and even plastic and stuff expands in temperature. So if I lock it into place with screws, it might warp and crack or spread out or whatever when it contracts or expands. That's why you normally have the molding so the whole floor can kind of contract and expand as needed. So that still needs to be worked out, but you can see I have it sort of laid out. I actually ripped out the carpeting from under the bench seating and have laid that in. It's not permanent right now, it's just testing. And then I did run this all the way back to see how it would look and what needed to go where. I also put in these little metal beams here to kind of level out the floor a little bit so now it doesn't jump around when you walk on it. These things are only like, I bought them from Walmart, like packs of, I think packs of 4 for about $2 or $3. So I got 2 packs. Could probably use more, but I think we're okay for now. The floor's not perfectly level or even, and that's okay. I don't care. It's just good enough. That's the running theme for renovating this RV. Good enough. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to look spectacular. It just needs to be good enough. And this, to me, looks good enough. So what we're going to do is probably put a screw there to hold it in place. And we might even put one here and deal with it if there's warpage issues. I didn't want to put the liquid nails down and glue it in place because then if there's a problem, you're going to have to rip it all out and the glue gets really nasty like it did on the insulation that was up above. So I will have that all even over there, but like right now, see how this is all even? We're not going to do it that way. We're actually going to slide. We'll let these two stay even because the holes have been cut already. But this one, I'm going to, well, not that one, but see how it's locked in place here. I'm going to unlock it here and slide it out. I think where it is. Yeah, right here. I'm going to slide this one out a little bit and put in a missing piece there. But the reason it's going to slide out is we're going to run one all the way to the back and have it go to the back perfectly. And that'll be our straight piece. And then maybe this middle one's going to hit right here. So it's going to be cut ad hoc. You're basically going to be laying it out and cutting it. And the reason I didn't want it all the way across, I didn't want a seam right here at the center that ran across 4 or 5 different panels. So we're going to have one. I should have slid this one a little bit, but I didn't do that. I kind of messed up a little bit. Probably could have started it from here, you know, and then done it correctly. Or I could cut it still. Could cut it right here and run a long lengthwise piece that goes out further. That way you don't have a solid line there. But see, there's another hole that needs to be cut for the vent. And what I'm planning on doing right here is bringing the jigsaw in and with power from Little Blue 2 and just kind of slowly cutting it to the right size. And because it's going to have another vent that goes over. And then I also have to cut the tiles to make the vent look like that, so it looks nice. And you can see I cut a little hole here for that bolt that I was talking about. It's just so it sticks up. And I tried to level this down a little bit. It's not perfect. And, you know, I'm not a professional. And I could do a better job if I wanted to put more time in, but I don't. Remember the name of this RV. It is good enough. And that's all we're striving for. It's just good enough. The floor is good enough. It's not perfect. It's not perfectly level. but at least it's not bouncing up and down right now. We can walk on it without falling through. When the floor is done, it won't look perfect, it won't look professional, but it should look good enough. So stay tuned and I'll let you know what happens when I lay the floor out and try to update it. It is starting to get dark outside, so I don't know how much time I have to work. I need to try to do all the cutting before it gets too dark. But really, this is the best time to work. The temperature-wise, it's probably like 76 or 77 degrees, maybe even 78 right now. It is blazingly hot in the daytime. So I need to try to do stuff at night. And not only that, I had children this weekend, so, you know, I had visitation, so it was kind of hard to work. I just ran off to see the kids. And during the weekdays, I won't be able to do this because I work. I can work on it in the evening. So that's what I've been doing, but, you know, it's been really long days, like basically 17, 18-hour days. I've only been getting about 4 or 5 hours of sleep. So that's not good. We're trying to get back up to 7 or 8 hours of sleep every night. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this out, and then if it looks good, we're going to go ahead and proceed to make it permanent. And if we have any luck with us, by tonight, the floor will mostly be done, if not all of it done. And then I'll plan to get up really early tomorrow morning and see if we can't get the whole floor completely done. And then possibly finish up the ceiling, or more than likely try to get this wall up so that the room will be like kind of done. And I'll actually have a working bedroom and a hallway. And I'm gonna do tiles on the bathroom. I don't know if we're gonna use the same one. I may if I have extras left over, or I might splurge and spend another $10, $15 on tiles specifically for the bathroom just to give it a different look. That way, you know, it just looks like a different room. Or we can just go with the same floor. Maybe I'll consult with the missus and see what she thinks. She'll probably say use the same floor. Her attitude has been go cheap. So that's what we're gonna do. And it's because we don't have a lot of money, and also, you know, basically going cheap allows it to get finished versus you're working on it and then you run out of money halfway through and then you can't finish it. So stay tuned and I will let you know what happens with the floor. Hopefully it'll turn out correctly. Alright, I just wanted to show you how I'm doing this. I've lined up this side here with the whole lengthwise piece up to the bed framing there. And I've slid it up. You can see it goes almost right up to this wall here, which would actually be ideal. But a piece of this molding is sticking out and blocking it. Actually, it's not blocking it. So it's going up as close as it'll go. It's not hitting the molding. It's actually been undercut already. So this is going out as far as it'll go. And sadly, it doesn't seem to be lining up over here unless I move this. I can get it to line up. So I can get this part to line up right here. Then I only have to cut a little thin slip right there to make that work. But for now, we're going to try to get this in and then get a little piece up here that I might bolt into place. Or not bolt, but screw into place right here. I'm going to cut a piece right there. You can see all my sweat here from dripping sweat everywhere. It is hot working out here, even though it's about to get dark. But once I get this kind of locked into place a little bit, you know, I'm going to make it as tight as I can, just slide it in. Then I can start integrating other pieces. At least that's the plan. But before I do any more work, I need to cut this out and get this side done and then work my way over. So the idea is we're going to start on this railing, this side here, then work our way over. But the plan is to try to make it fit in nice and even. But once we have this, the whole floor from this side out will be done. Then I just need to finish up the bedroom and the little kitchen and this little, what's this front entry area here called? I don't know what that's called, but I think that's going to do it. So we just need to cut a little piece right there to fit that in. And to do that, all I'm going to do is just lay a piece out, measure it, and cut. And we'll have one whole strip done. But the biggest thing is going to be cutting this right here. So that remains to be done, so stay tuned. Alright, you might be wondering what I'm doing right here. I do have my jigsaw hooked up right here because this RV doesn't generate 120 volts, at least not yet. And believe it or not, little blue 2 outside there is actually serving currently as a generator, which will allow me to run this jigsaw, which we're going to use to slowly cut the vent here for the heater that comes up through the floor. I think it's the heater, not air conditioning, and it comes from above, right up here on this AC unit and all these various vent holes. Shut that out of the way. But you can see little Blue 2 is serving right now as a generator. I'm just running the engine and have the inverter there. But I also have power being patched in. It says, I guess, low, full, good. And C is charging, but it's not charging much. The reason it's not charging much is I'm actually pulling all sorts of power from Little Blue 2. Little Blue 2 right now is being used to make 120 volts. You can see the power cable here to my multi-plug outlet goes all the way up to Little Blue. And it comes here to the inverter, which is the same as the inverter cooking system. You can see we got 13.6 volts coming in, 13.5, 13.6. I'm actually pulling power here as 120 volts to charge up a battery pack for the drill unit. That's why it's green and charging. I'm also pulling the power here to run the drill, which we're going to be using. Not drill, the jigsaw, but you can see this is the inverter cooking system, which is, you know, just basically a connection switch to connect the vehicle battery to the house battery, which is down here in Little Blue 2. Little Blue 2 right now is semi-functional, kind of ripped up. You can see it's in passenger mode today because I just picked up the children earlier and we went on our little family trip. But anyhow, the kids are gone, so I'm trying to get some work done before it gets completely dark. And this is running 120 volts power for me to work on the RV, which is what's happening right now. Now, to take advantage of the engine running in Little Blue 2, I'm also taking the jumper cable and charging Good Enough's vehicle battery right now. This is not the vehicle battery, but the house battery here. This is the leisure battery. I've disconnected the solar connection for now, and I'm just charging 12 volts from there to here. So I'm doing multiple things right now. I'm charging the leisure battery on Good Enough. I don't know what happened there. The screen did something weird. I'm charging the 12 volt battery on Good Enough, and I'm also running 120 volts, which we're going to need to use to cut this here in a moment. So you can see there's power coming in. Hopefully this doesn't die here. I don't draw too much. But the idea is I'm going to cut in a little bit to the edge. So I'm not going to be able to film myself doing this, but essentially I'm just going to line this up and cut in and try not to hit the metal framing. So let me do that and show you what we end up with. Alright, to help us see a little bit better, I bought 2 of these, as seen on TV, super bright switch lights. You can see how well they work, super bright here. I'm going to be using this. I bought this from the flea market, so it's 2 for $5. So $2.50 each with the battery. It says chimey. I'll try it right here. Just leave it right here like this for now. And it's just there so I can see. And what I'm going to do is just cut this up to the edge here, which I'm going to try to do. Let's try to film this just a little, just to show you. Alright, but that's essentially what I'm doing. I'm not going to film the whole thing and hold the camera like that because I don't want to have an accident here and cut through the paneling. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the camera for now and then just show you the end results. Alright, I do know that, well, the flash is on now. I was having some camera issues. I hope I didn't just shut it off a second ago. Anyhow, I am cutting with the drill right now. I don't know if the camera just cut and edited, so if it looks messed up, sorry about that. But I have this light that I bought from Walmart, not Walmart, from the flea market, 2 of them for $5, so $2.50 each. And they're super bright LEDs, so I can see inside. And I started to cut a hole, and I'm putting my finger in to kind of see how far I am. I basically want to go up to the edge, but not past the edge. So I know I can go just a little bit further, or I'll cut in at a diagonal and take a look and see how much further I have. You don't want to cut all the way through and ruin your, you know, the interior there. So slow, nice and slow is how to work. Just for those of you who have never done this, I just wanted to show you what I do to try to make sure I don't hit the edge. I cut diagonal here. I cut a triangle. And I'll be cutting through like this and pulling it out so I can actually see, and that's how I can do the line. And I'll be doing that with all of it. Like right now, I think I have a little bit of spacing left, but I'm going to cut this all the way through and we'll see the triangle out, and then I can cut a parallel line, or I can go a little bit further. You don't want to try to bend the blade. You want to cut a little notch so that you can move the blade in there. Because if you try to bend the blade, it'll probably break. Here then is my notch. And I don't know where the piece went. It flew inside here. This is the piece that we just cut out. So you can see we got this. We're going to have to clean the sawdust out from in there later. But you can see I'm right up to the edge. I got a little bit of room, so I'm going to cut straight across up here. You know, I'm just going to cut right. I might go just a little bit further, not much further. That should be good enough. I'm going to try to go across and do the same when I see the other side, you know, the other wall there. And I'll do that for each of these. Just so you can see here, I've gone right up to the edge, and I started to cut across. I don't know how far that is. I guess it's got a little bit more room. I'm going to go just a little bit further, then I'm going to cut a diagonal, just so I can see. Because I don't want to hit the other edge and then cut through metal. Matter of fact, I'm going to do the diagonal right now and cut it so I can look, because I can't physically see up underneath there or feel. Here you can see I have cut that other chunk out here, so I can see I got more room, and I'm kind of putting my finger in there and feeling it, and I'm like, well, I can go up about that much further. And this could even come in a little bit more. You know, this aluminum foil comes off, so I can come in a little bit more. The key to this is taking your time and doing it nice and easy. You know, you don't need to rush through this, because when you rush through, that's when you're gonna cut through the vent here, the shaft or whatever that's called. My brain is fried. But I am gonna cut slowly. I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut here and go in just a little bit closer, because I can see I got a little gap here. I'm gonna go in just slightly closer and then go up a little bit further up. So here you see we've gone up along the edge. You can see this came off here, this aluminum foil, but we haven't cut the wood. What we're trying to do is avoid cutting this wood right here. I'll probably put tape or something down here to help the vent. I don't know why they have aluminum here, but I guess it was like aluminum tape or something. But yeah, because you can see the gap right here with the gap, which we're going to tape up. We're going to probably use duct tape or something, or even the aluminum tape. But I am going to go ahead and finish the cut and concentrate on that. But that's the process we're going through to cut an existing hole to line up with the previous hole as best as we can here. I'm trying not to cut this wood or hit it or anything like that. And I can see I'm going to have to cut here, diagonal or whatever. Here I can, it's actually right on the edge right here. So I'm going to just start to go up over here and then come over a little bit and see what that looks like. Just wanted to show you how I am actually doing this. You can see I just cut diagonal. I cut all sorts of little pieces. And I'm going right up to the edge. I'm taking out the old foil. This is really no good. Probably have to go pick up some more metal foil tape to put down in here. And, you know, and tape the bottom part too. But this is the old vent, and it is like kind of ugly and messy. And we're putting a lot of dust in there, so we're wiping it up with a wet rag here in a moment. But this is a skill I kind of learned from working as a handyman. I don't know if you guys recall those episodes where I was working at the mobile home park. So it looks like everything that's been happening is coming into play right now, all the skills that I picked up. So it's turning out that all these little weird odd and end jobs that I took are all coming into play right now. Just wanted to show you a little bit, an update on how it's going. And you can see I went right up to the edge. I'm going to cut in just a little bit more on here and trim that off. And then here I think we're good. Here we got another 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch right here. We're going to come down this way. So you can see it's not perfect, but it's good enough. It just needs to be close enough. But see, I can stick my hand in here, and it's about this long right here. So that should give me my vent hole. And of course we're going to have to do it with the flooring as well. So it's looking like completely dark out here. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to work here in the dark, although in here we do have light. But mosquitoes and bugs and other stuff may start to come in. I may shut the screen and keep trying to work in the night. But I don't want to have my vehicle run too long because it can overheat. You know, just sitting there at idle for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour might not be too good for Little Blue 2. I may just call it a night for today and continue working on this early in the morning. But meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and try to get this done. We'll see what happens here. Alright, here then is my finished hole. You can see it's not perfect, but you know what? It's good enough. I just need to clean it out. I need to clean all that junk out, but you can see the the vent thing fits right over it. So we just need to trim the flooring to match this outline of this hole. It gives you a little bit of play, but then we can screw it into place, and the 2 vent holes, those were my 2 big concerns, will be done. And it just vents a certain way. Have it blow a certain way, like if it matters. You know, if it blows left or right. I don't know if it matters so much. But we'll have our 2 vent holes done. That was a big thing. I made this hole here so that the bolt can come through, and the floor is somewhat level. Not perfect, but good enough. And this was a lot longer than I thought it would take, but it got done. So we can begin working on the floor since we clean this up, and I'm going to wrap it up for this episode. So thank you all for tuning in. If you found this video informational, informative and helpful, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. Share the video with others who are rebuilding their van or RV and may not know what they're doing, just like me, but have found these techniques useful. I do appreciate all of you tuning in and the support you've been giving me. Thank you so much. If you have ideas and suggestions for improving the process, make sure you post it down below so that people who read the comments can actually benefit from your suggestions, even though it may be too late for me at this point. But we're going to go ahead and try to cut the pieces there and start to lay things out and see if I can't get this done tonight. I'll try to film some more if I can. So until next time, everyone, take care. God bless you all. Thank you again for tuning in. Have a great day now. Bye-bye.